Thanks for staying with us. Moving on to another topic. So no fewer than 63 bills have been tabled before the Senate and the House of Representatives for the creation of new universities, polytechnics, colleges of education since the beginning of the shutdown of activities. If you recall, Nigeria has 49 federal universities. We have 59 state universities and 111 private universities. And we have about 40 federal polytechnics and state-owned ones and about 59 and private 76. So we have quite a bit of universities, polytechnics in Nigeria, but there's a bill currently being considered to create more universities. Do you think this is the right time, or do you even think there's a need for additional universities? That's the conversation this morning. You can call us again on the numbers on your screen, 081-270-53687, 091-390-76948. You can also tweet to us at TVC. Can I please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweet? Of course, since this consideration started, ASUU responded saying that you are yet to properly fund the existing ones, and now you want to create more. But there's also an argument that there are lots of children, as you took during the paper review, that are disenfranchised because they can't get into university. We don't have enough for these universities. So is there a need? Is there a real, genuine need? And if there is, how best can we go to ensure that these youngsters who actually do deserve to get into university are not able to get into universities because of that?
For me, it's like you have not finished feeding your children. You are changing timetable, food timetable. You are adding another, let's have mac and cheese, let's have this, let's have that. And they have been drinking Gary since. Let's do balanced diet, and you don't even have the resources for it. I think we don't know how to solve problems in this country. First of all, in solving problems, you need to take a look at what is obtainable in other places you want to emulate. Like you want to emulate the good things of other countries and how they have been able to stabilize their economy. You realize that they don't have universities the way we have universities. They don't churn out graduates doing nothing the way we churn out graduates doing nothing. What we need as a country is to ensure that we have enough production factories, we have enough businesses, we support enough entrepreneurs, so that when people finish secondary school, even before they get into, so that you are getting into the university at the age that you are aware of what exactly you want to do. We have a lot of students who get into school who are doing courses. They have no business doing courses just because they want to have that certificate. And when they come out, they cannot use that certificate because they are not equipped for it. They still have to go back to school to train for other things. That time that you have wasted in that university doing what you're not even going to be using for anything, if you had used it to, first of all, mature into doing something, getting a job, learning a skill, the skill right now is the most important thing we need to focus on. So we work on the existing universities, equip them enough so that they are functioning without having this back and forth ASUU strike. And then we go into the skill sector and equip that aspect so that those ones you feel are rushing to universities can first of all know who they are before they get into the universities. Opening more universities right now is not going to solve our problem. Which money are they planning to use to fund it when they have not settled ASUU?
Okay, so the question is, all the millions of children that write exams every year, some of them are unable to get to universities because of this lack of, we don't have enough universities across the country to absorb these children. So that's part of the problem, and they're trying to solve the problem, but ASUU is also saying timing is not a good thing because we have an issue with timing. Is it the right time to make this proposal? I'm trying to see the exact number of federal universities. I think they're trying to focus on agriculture, College of Education, and I think there was one more, I'll get it. But let me hear your thoughts on this.
So I agree that we need more institutions to absorb the students who are releasing from secondary school. The number of people that write JAM in comparison to the number of slots available in the university is very discouraging for those even writing JAM, because it's like you're trying to pass through the eye of a needle. It's really tough. However, this is not the right time. And you know, we do these things, and it's as if we need to do a crash course on emotional intelligence for a lot of our like all leaders must do, before you contest for any election, INEC should start doing leadership. You must go through leadership program. Yes, you must go to leadership program. You must do emotional intelligence. You must do it like NLP. You must start, like, you must just have some basic, you do some basic course to help you understand where you are going to and how to relate with people and what to do. Because this is a good policy, bad timing, and we've had a few of that. We've had ASUU strike since, I think it was February this year. That they've been on strike. Since February, they've been on strike. And between that time and now, we now suddenly have 63 new bills coming. Currently, we have more private universities than public universities. And Nima mentioned something very important during the weekend when we were raising this issue. She said the conversation should be increasing the university's capacity to admit more people. Because we still have lecturers. Our lecturers are going out. I met someone in Atlanta last year. Very brilliant man. He's a mathematician. He was a mathematician in the university in the East. Oga is in university in America now. He's a professor in America. He's a professor that left Nigeria to the US and is lecturing there. Very smart young man. Looked at his life and what was going to happen being in a public institution in Nigeria, and he checked out. We think it is brain drain is happening in the medical sector alone. No, our educational sector too, we are having brain drain. So when you set up these new universities, who are the lecturers? Currently, many private universities, the lecturers that are lecturing in public universities go and lecture in private universities, and they are tired to do the public university and doing more time because they get better pay consistently in private universities. We have a crisis on our hand. It is not about increasing the number of universities, but increasing the quality of what we are putting into the current university. Increase the theater hall. Use technology. We have technology. So have viewing centers. Let people receive the lectures. Only the ones that require physical practicals will be the ones we are opening more halls for. There are many things we can do. Let us think.
Let me come to you, Nima.
I agree with Sokwe and BC, but I would bring the solution to Nigeria.
Let me pause you. I'm so sorry again. Austin has been holding for a while. Austin, are you there? Hello, Austin from Enugu. Thanks for calling. Hello, Austin. Are you there? Go ahead, Nima.
So I'll bring the solution again to Nigerians. The report this morning on the Punch says that between December 2021 and February 2022, that's 3 months, Nigerians spent, according to the CBN, $220.86 million on foreign education. If you convert it to Naira, it's 91-something trillion Naira. And ASUU is asking for 1 trillion Naira of the money. And we're asking government, do this for us, pay subsidy, do everything in a country where we also refuse to pay taxes. Let's bring it on. I'm not a government person, no. From where I would think I am.
Absolutely, no.
I'm not a government person.
This is my,
I'm just on this matter, just on it. Because when I saw the ASUU president, I asked him. I know a lot of my lecturers. Professor Ekariale was one of the best in public law when I was in 100 level, and I was waiting to attend this class in 200 level. Before I reached there, he was already in the Harvard law school as a professor. So there's no kini there. I know professors of medicine in my own mother's family who, before I graduated, I was able to go and meet them. They're already in Harvard as professors. So they call it career growth. But there's also this flip side of it. Our tests for everything foreign. Our love for everything foreign, including the Nigerians who justify an education abroad, even when Unilag was still a good school. They will tell you it's exposure, it's travel, it's kinikon. And when their child is coming, do you know she just, come and greet your auntie. She just arrived
from
UK.
Cambridge.
Thank you. It was the test. And we did not know the flip. We did not know how this would affect the system. Even the president, all his 3 children, all of them. A Nigerian who is not Nigerian inside their hearts cannot change things here, including us, not just people in government. And as we are growing, and all we are looking at is, if it's not foreign, this conversation that we're having here now, we're already having it in my house. We're already divided.
Nima, let me pause you for a second.
And I cannot win.
You're going on the path that I think I really would want to go to. Because it's a conversation, it's a hard conversations we must face each other to solve. Many of us, because if we think about it, many universities abroad today, many of them are having courses online. Go to Coursera. Go to Udemy. Many of them are telling you, go and take this course online. Many of our Nigerian universities are still, they are not struggling. Many of them, they have embraced technology, whether you like to believe it or not. Many of our Nigerian universities, whether you like to believe it or not, have embraced technology. Many of them What you are getting when you go abroad is the abroad certificate. Because the truth is, what makes you excel is not the fact that you had poor education in Nigeria. What makes you excel is the resilience the Nigerian university teaches you. The tenacity you learn from being in Nigeria, reading hard in Nigeria. That's what makes you excel, because the course that you are doing today, as of today, is not available. If the University of Lagos, for example, registers with Coursera, for example, many universities are doing this abroad, where they have their various lectures online. Many students, you can just be as equipped as your counterpart abroad.
Have they registered with them now?
Many of them are. What I'm saying, many.
We need to do research on this.
They have.
Let's be sure that Nigerian universities are online.
Some haven't.
I went to
many
LASU.
have.
I went to LASU under Professor Larry Fagbone's VC-ship. LASU has gone far on all of this. In every course that you were taking, tech was a new thing. And even then, Lagos State continued to improve structure. So I went to LASU recently. I saw new lecture theaters. They are mass comm. They had the radio. They are improving. They are putting money in. But will Nigerians be willing to pay for the infrastructure? They will now tell you it's government owned. It should be cheaper. Wait. They locked down the school. When I was in 100 level, school fees was 14,000 something. They increased it to 28,000. We locked down school. We locked down school, and the same people would say, oh, masters or more minimum in dollars. They will go and pay abroad. We don't want to pay here. We think that the exposure is also of value. And the people, when they come to market, there was one from Birmingham University, one professor that came to market us in law school. He sold us the foreign idea, the exposure, and I was just irritated. He told us that if it is not in the UK, you do this thing. And when your companies come here, when you bring your masters from LASU, even though you've done your hard work, and somebody brings a foreign masters, they will take the foreign. They will tell you that they were well-trained. And the person when they need a dogged person who will do hard work, they will take the local. We need to shift mindset. This is us who are creating this problem more than government. Our taste for foreign, we must kill it. And if it's not packaged well, it's not giving one we will not buy it.
So the truth is, we all need to be more patriotic as Nigerians. I agree. It has to go all round. But people have felt that I have made sacrifices. I've made sacrifices for this nation, and I desire a better life. But when I apply for a job, I know the fact that people that are from the abroad get the job better. So why would I put my children to be at a disadvantage when I can afford it? If I've worked so hard, I had to prove myself over and over against my counterparts who were from the abroad, but did not have the competence and the resilience that I had. But I had to prove myself to get everything I've gotten. I will give my children that advantage of education abroad if I can afford it. Not everybody will go abroad. The average Nigerian cannot afford to study abroad. We still need the number of people that can only study in Nigeria. We still don't have capacity to handle them. That's the thing. Now, let's talk about the abroad. The truth is, despite all, and I appreciate the hard work of our lecturers. They are trying. They are intelligent. But they haven't, I would say again, you cannot compare. When we talk about business administration, let's talk about biz admin. Talk to the average graduate of biz admin. They don't understand what business development is. They don't understand it because the lecturer is teaching them, not encouraging them to create businesses. Our model of teaching needs to change. When you study someone else that did business administration in the abroad, in the universities abroad, the way they teach is different. Their goal is different. As a country, we need to work. We need to work with our lecturers to understand what is our problem as a nation. I am an employer of labor. I am cracking my head on a daily basis trying to get business marketers that understand what marketing is. Interview marketers and marketing graduates from Nigeria. They cannot solve any problem for my business. So we are talking. Business owners need a problem. Schools should feed us the graduate that we can employ. But we are not doing that. We are just turning out certificates to people in universities. You are a lawyer. You can meet the problems. The legal department of universities might be effective. But when we talk to business, entrepreneurship, creating, innovation, so, we are not turning out those solutions.
Fantastic. I'll come back to it. Let me take this, Ayo. Ayo, are you there? Ayo, you're live. Go ahead, please. Ayo, are you there? Okay, I think. So my brother-in-law is a doctor in the US, and and in fact, almost all of them they are doctors, and those Nigerian doctors they constantly talk about how the education they got from Nigeria was so foundational, and that's what they've been able to do. Yes, America exposes you to the technology, better ways of doing things, but that foundation they had. Many of them today are proud. They are grateful because they felt they had that background. So that's why I have an issue. If we constantly condemn the educational curriculum we have in Nigeria. We always do that. But as much as it is faulty to a point, but we must highlight the fact that it has built many people who are successful. Us this far, but it has saved us. But so we can build on it, absolutely. It's not perfect, but it doesn't deserve the kind of condemnation we give it all the time. That's the point I was trying to make. Yes.
So I would not go the way of condemnation, but I would go the way of highlighting the facts and what needs to be changed. Most people who really make it in our educational system here are people who are book smart. So there are different ranges of intelligence. I will use that word. And there are different types of, there are different learning types for different individuals, different children. The Nigerian curriculum has not been able to fine-tune it in such a way that they take care of every child, every student, and their learning abilities. They have not been able to get that one. So those ones who will come to schools here and make it are those ones who are just book smart. The students who have an issue, who have major challenges, are mostly the creatives who need a different system of understanding to be able to learn. Our education, I'm an educationist, and I'm saying from practice and from everything I've seen in my study, they have not been able to get that. Absolutely. That's where the problem is. Yeah. So abroad, they have understood the different levels of intelligence. And in each lecture in class, they will break it down that the visual learner will get it, the kinesthetic learner will get it, the auditory learner will get it, the reading learner, everybody will get it at your own level. We have not fine-tuned that. It's just a few very expensive schools now that do a lot of training in that. We need to focus on that. So, and then this child who has done very well, who is book smart, goes there and is excelling, and you think it's the educational system here that helped. No, it's the child. Because you can take two people out of here, and one will find their way, the other will not find their way. We need to break it down and understand it. That is where our educational system is faulting. Also, because of the fact that a lot of people want to go abroad instead of studying here, and we don't have those people abroad coming here, our educational system in terms of standard, we are not anywhere near the right standard.
Do you know that if I bring a white person from abroad and bring them to Unilag, he might fail? Do you realize they might fail?
Do you know why they will fail?
Yeah, why?
Because you teach with the lowest level of intelligence, that which is memory and
recollection.
You focus on remembrance. You study, you memorize, and you give it back. So they will fail. They can't use it.
I can argue that.
They cannot use it.
Yes,
what they use there is application.
Yes.
So we are not teaching you to memorize. In fact, cramming is not allowed. It's plagiarism. You don't memorize. We teach you, and then we give you examples of how you can apply what you have learned without calling it the name. So they will fail when they come here. But we excel when we go there.
I've said it several times here, and I've used several examples where I came to the exam without my textbook, right, in the US.
Good.
And then I saw everybody bring out a textbook.
People still don't understand that example.
I understand.
That you say you need to explain this.
Explain it well.
People when you went abroad, what was happening? People went to exam with textbooks.
So I had Law 101, and I was cramming all the various legal things in my head for my exam. Exam came, people came with their books because they don't want me to cram it. They expected me to know where to find it in the book. I get that. I get that, the application.
That's
I get
application.
That. But the point I'm trying to make is that our educational system is not as bad as we make it look.
But what are we creating?
I agree. And I also hear you, BC.
What are we creating?
I also hear you that there are various levels. That the smarts get smart and they're good. The creatives have a deficiency with our system because of the way it is done.
Yeah.
However, I strongly believe that God, I lost my train of thought.
So what are we? Sorry, please. Let me just add this a little. How do you know that an educational system is good enough?
The results.
When the people who you have educated are able to sit down and create solutions to solve their problem. That's the essence of education. That's why we went to school.
Enabling environment is not provided. You now can't.
Let's be careful to encourage good.
But enabling environment.
No.
Let me finish. I've not
please,
spoken.
because I
understand. Let me come to Nima.
Because I've been chipping in. But I don't want because I started by saying that people travel abroad and they have a right to. I haven't had education abroad. And I do not believe that education in the formal walls is the only way to succeed.
Education.
No, I don't believe that. I believe that every society must define what their agenda is. You can create 100 universities, and I will support 100 universities. If there is an agenda We need, if the government came up with this, if the bill was that agric industry has told us that they need engineers that would design seedlings. We import seedlings, Murayo. Seedlings. If the person that controls seedlings control your agric sector. So if you tell me that you want to create an agric sector that will produce seedlings, and you're creating 10 institutions across the political zones to meet this need, that is a goal-driven plan.
Let me Nima have the last word. I have to run.
Okay, so let's be careful. There's no perfect system anywhere in the world.
Yeah, true.
If certain areas are what we are going abroad for, no problem. But we cannot go abroad for every single thing.
Yes.
The creatives are not the example BC made.
Absolutely.
There are schools here.
Yeah.
And we could have even improved our system.
Yes,
But our
that's what I'm
taste
saying.
will tell you that there's nothing good about our universities here.
Love that.
And go
So
abroad.
if you want to go and build planes, if you want to go to abroad.
That
But
one,
if
that's
it's
their
for business,
department.
if it's for other areas, marketing,
Morayo,
business administration,
in Nigeria
this is where you
here,
need it.
in the school of Air Force schools here, we create pilots who can create planes. What they don't, no, let me talk. Please, let me talk. We can build.
Not that type.
See, that's why we are here. That's why we are begging somebody to give us Tucano. In Enugu, there somebody will create the weapon we need. We will not localize it. We will not trust it except it comes from Russia.
Exactly.
We never serious.
I agree with you on that.
We have to take
No, Bawo.
this
All
game
of us
show.
agree.
That's all we can take. We have to this game show. What's the name of the game?
Who wants to be a millionaire?
Yeah. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. All right. So we're going to take a few comments on social media before we wrap up on our conversation. One says, Morel, there is no statistics to support that the present institutions can't accommodate the eligible number of students. Let capacity of our current universities be increased. Most of the legislators are bereft of ideas. They want this institution cited in their constituents as optics of what they attracted to this constituency. So it's not constituency project idea. So it's the reasoning and rationale behind this that she's talking about. Okay, and
Akibewa says, I don't support the argument that of BC about abroad university. I studied abroad and I can't see anything special. Recently, some students in the UK threatened to sue their universities because of the substandard teaching they received. Jay Pal says, how can the government even think of creating more universities at this time? Sometimes I feel these guys in the helms of affairs are not normal. Students have been on strike. It's been a yearly ritual to strike. Universities are poorly funded. Staffs are underpaid.
When we talk about pedagogy in the classrooms and how the presentation, the methodology applied in the schools, I think this is the issue, not the content. And I think that was the argument I was trying to make. The content in itself is not outdated. And even if it's outdated, many of our professors are knowing to attract, updating, and they're going to technology. So they have it. But the method of delivery in the classroom is an issue. And that's where we need helping. Not that our professors are not doing, do not have the right content to teach.
And when I did the nurturing the natural training, I realized that most of these government teachers are aware of the pedagogy. But the power to do is where the problem is.
Okay, that's all we can take on the show today. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.